This is a project management crash course. It is a practical, easy to understand and step-by-step guide that will help you succeed as a project manager. You will need 4 documents: a project charter, a project plan, a task lists, and a report. So step number 1, write the project charter. So let's have a look at project charter and what it should contain. First, it should contain the roles of people on the project. So role number 1 is the sponsor. This is the person who gave you that project, who nominated you as a project manager. They oversee the project, you report to them, and they will help you solve any problems. Project manager, that's you. With the sponsor, that could be more people as a steering committee, or just one sponsor. You're the project manager, usually only one, always only one. And there's the team. You usually have people helping you with the projects from your company or external. Make sure you have written confirmation that these people will have enough capacity or time required for this project. You need to have some document that will help you protect time of your team members. If you don't have that, your project is doomed to fail. Of course, every project charter should have something like an output. What's the ultimate goal of the projects? What are the targets? What are the KPIs? Why are we doing this project? Also, don't forget to mention any risks that might occur during the project. It's better to mention the risk on the beginning and also try to put some plan how you would mitigate the risks. The project charter can include much more information like project phases, budget, requirements, KPIs, and many more. Step number 2, have it approved by the sponsor. Step number 3, create a project plan. So that's the next document in our system. So how I build project plans. First, think about deliverables of the project, like a picture from the end of the project. What should be done at the end? What should be implemented? What should be changed? What should people know, etc. Usually there are 3 to 10 these deliverables, and then sort them into categories. If project should take more than 8 weeks, split it into several phases that should be around 8 weeks long. In our example, I will use a 2-phase project. It will have 2 8-week phases. So I also need to know what will be the deliverables of phase 1, and I should be clear about that. When I have this, plan phase 1 into more detail on weekly basis. Take the number of weeks in your projects, and for every week, plan what needs to be done in each of the category to be able to deliver these things that are required to be finished at the end of phase 1. So that's the plan. Step number 4, sponsor approves the project plan. As soon as you have the project charter and the project plan ready, you can get started. And you can do it, step number 5, by organizing a kickoff meeting. In the kickoff meeting, there should be a sponsor or a steering committee invited, project team members or other important stakeholders, and just explain them what is the project about, show them the project charter, show them the project plan, answer all the questions. And after the kickoff, you can continue. And what you should do next, number 6, plan weekly status meetings with your team. There should be 30 to 60 minutes long, and it should be a standing meeting in your calendar for the duration of the project, so you don't have to search available time every week. So you have a weekly status meeting, and what you should do on the first status meeting. Look at the project plan and look what needs to be done in the following weeks. And then assign tasks to project teams or to yourself as well, and put them into task lists or an action log. So task list is pretty simple. It should state who does what, by when, and if it's done or not. So this is your task list and the most important document. Of course, you can use an Excel template, or you can use something better like Microsoft Teams to do. You can use Asana or any other more advanced task list that's available. If you have Google Workspace, you can use the Google Tasks. They work quite well for the team. So step number 7, check progress weekly. So how does a regular status meeting looks? First, open the task list and check what was done. So check out the things that were done. And if there are some tasks that are due and are not done, try to understand why that happened. If it's a problem for the project plan, then you need to solve it and communicate it, or you can just postpone the deadline or assign the task to somebody else from the team. There are several solutions how to do it. This is one of your most important role, to check and follow up on the tasks. Then look at the plan and look at the week that just passed. Look at the activities that were planned for the week and see if they were done or not. Mark green if the activity is finished, just according to the plan. You can mark it yellow if it was not finished or partially finished, but you are still very confident that you can still do it by the end of phase 1, and the deliverable of phase 1 in this category is not compromised. If you feel that you already know that you will not be able to deliver something at the end of phase 1, just mark it red. You can mark red the deliverable as well. It's good to state it and admit that you are delayed. Hope is not a strategy. The worst mistake of a project manager is just saying to the sponsor like, oh, everything is fine, everything is perfect, and then at the end they found out that you did nothing, you have nothing done. So this is the worst mistakes. You should communicate problems early. So then look at the following weeks. Once again, open your task list and assign tasks to individual team members so that the activities that are planned will get done. So, and then make a report for the sponsor or for the steering committee. How should the report look like? You can easily just send the project plan with the marked results from the previous weeks, and put few lines and just send it to the sponsor and steering committee. If you want, you can simplify it by just showing the week that just passed and the following week. If it's a several phase project, it's also good to include what's in the end, what's the final deliverables. And then just for each category, put a few sentences of comments, especially for those that are in yellow or in red. For the sponsor to understand why something is yellow, what's the plan to catch up, and if it's red, why it is in red, and what are the consequences for the project. So that's the report. And number 8 is just, I mentioned it already, solve problems early. If you have feeling that something might be delayed, a deliverable might be compromised, or something like that, or some team members do not give the time promised, just speak up, talk to the sponsor, communicate early. That's your main role. Step number 9, after each phase, close it with the sponsor. So after each phase, the project plan that originally looked like that looks something like that now. Ideally, it's all green, but in reality, it's pretty normal. Almost on all projects, it will not go according to the plan, and it's quite normal. Now we have to talk about what to do with it with the next phase. And so when you are closing the phase with your sponsor, it's good also to use the same meeting to start the next phase. In our example, it will be the second phase, the last phase. So at the end, there are final deliverables. So once again, you look at the phase 1 and phase 1 results at the deliverables. And based on that, you just plan what needs to be done in the next phase, and just present it to the sponsor and have it approved by the sponsor. And number 10, just close the project when it's finished. Do the same, present the results, make sure the deliverables gets approved, and after it's done, make sure you take your team to a nice dinner. So that was a quick step-by-step crash course to project management. If you would like to use my templates, you will find them at jiribenedikt.com/projects. I made these templates in Excel. Why in Excel? When there are so fancy tools like Asana, Easy Project, Microsoft Teams, etc. Sometimes you just don't have those available, or your team members don't want to use them. So you have to use, you need to go to the path of least resistance, which is Excel. Everybody has Excel or Google Sheets, everybody can use that. So that's why I made that Excel template. You can use it. As I said, there is an empty Excel template that you can use, and there is also an example that I made an example, filled example based on my previous projects. So what you can find here is examples of project charter. You can see here a project plan after phase 1 of the project. There is an example of task lists, and there is an example of the weekly status update. There are 3 types of projects in companies at these moments. A product development project, where we talk to customers and innovate. Process improvement project, process innovation, where we think about a lean way how to do processes, and an implementation project, where we do things like implement new systems, maybe build a new e-shop, move the office, open a new branch, etc., etc. And this tutorial is especially practical for these implementation projects. It is good for small or medium-sized project. I would not recommend building a nuclear power plant using my templates, but for most of the projects, this will do very fine. I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you very much for watching, and subscribe for more videos about smart work. So thank you and good luck on your projects.